guys, how's it going? It's Molly. I'm here today to do my next Shop My Stash. All right, here's the thing. It's been 4 months. And I'm pretty sure the last time I filmed this, it had been 4 months. So apparently we're just shopping my stash every 4 months. I don't know. It's supposed to be every 2 weeks. It is not that. Here's what happened this time. The dresser that I keep my makeup in got real messy. Shadows broke and they're all over the dresser. They still are. But because of that, I was like, I can't film a Shop My Stash. So to clean it up, I don't know. Executive functioning skills are not always my strong suit. So anyways, I'm going to film this anyways, even though it's a little messy down there. And you guys are going to see that it's a little messy, and that's okay, right? That is fine. We're all human. Sometimes cleaning up a broken eyeshadow falls at the very bottom of the priority list in day-to-day life. Maybe it's just me, but it is me. So, anyways, not that any of you probably care. All right, now let's get into the video. So when I film my Shop My Stashes, if you haven't seen them before, essentially what I do is I spend the first part of the video talking about what I chose from the last rotation. Now, when I'm filming these every 2 weeks, that's a pretty easy thing to do. I talk about how often I wore each item, my thoughts, yada yada. Today, that might be a little more challenging, but I think I can do it. So I don't know how often I used all of the things. I know about how often I used some of them. And I do know my thoughts. So let's go ahead and start with eyeshadow palettes. I chose this Huda Beauty Wild Obsessions Jaguar palette. Is that what you are? Yes. Man, I gotta say, I lusted after this palette pretty intensely. I was like, I have to have that. I have to have it. It just spoke to me in a way that makeup hadn't. I don't know. I got really excited about it when it released. And you know what? I don't really like it. I think I maybe used it once and it was a struggle to use it. There's nothing wrong with the formula. The formula is fine. It's the color story. I think it's one of those, this is not a standalone palette for me. I have to use this with other products. And whenever that happens, I tend to have a difficult time wanting to reach for them. I've gotten better, especially lately, because I've been doing the Shop My Singles videos. So I'm kind of forcing myself to pull from different palettes to create the base of the look, and then using whatever shimmer I want to use from my custom palette. Excuse me, because my singles collection is very shimmer heavy. I typically am not buying a lot of matte singles, occasionally, but not frequently. Anyways, my point is I've gotten better about using multiple products to create an eye look. But when I filmed that Shop My Stash, I really wasn't. And so I had a hard time using this. Yeah. But as I recall, oh, actually, you know what? Maybe it's not the best. Some of the shimmers are just kind of a bummer. I'm going to do palm swatches because my hands are terribly dry. This shade right here, that's terrible. That's not a good shade. It's the one in the bottom corner, that kind of purpley shade. And maybe that's what it was. I didn't love the formula. They're kind of just sheer sort of shimmers, and I don't always want that. So I could see this being decluttered in the future, which the eyeshadow palette declutter is coming. I just need to take a morning off of work so that I can film it. And I am a little short on vacation time right now. Okay, next up, Odensein Norns. This one, I was pleasantly surprised. When I pulled this, I was like, I'll be lucky if I use it once. Because, again, the color story is not great. I don't love the color story. But some of these shadows are incredible. Absolutely incredible. This shade here, Pink Chameleon, let me show you. It's the shade right here. It's absolutely beautiful. I used the crud out of that shade. So I actually, here it is swatched. It's also fairly sheer, but it's like smooth sheer. And for whatever reason, if I have a shadow, if a shadow has to be like a sheer shimmer, I need it to be smooth. I don't want any chunky sheer shimmers. That is no good. I feel like I also used Green Chameleon a few times. I didn't realize they were both chameleon shades. And I also believe I used this shade here, Self. Let me do some swatches. Swatchers. Oh my. Okay, yeah. There's Green Chameleon, Pink Chameleon, and Shelf. They're really, really pretty. These shades I can do quite a bit with. Again, it's not a standalone palette. Like I have to build the looks up using other shades from other palettes. But for whatever reason, I was fine doing that with these. Maybe it's because the shimmers were more enjoyable to work with. I think that's probably what was going on in my head. So that one I'll for sure be keeping. I just wipe my swatches on my pants. Anybody else, or is that just me? It's probably just me. I don't know. Next up, Be Perfect Carnival. This sucker is massive. It is so big. And I think I maybe used it once or twice. Like I really didn't use it a lot. The size, I was gonna say the size intimidates me. It doesn't. It's not the size. It's that some of these shades are just so flipping pigmented that I end up with a look much more intense than I wanted to when I go into it. But I'm kind of feeling inspired to use this now. So I'm, do I want to pull this in for this round? Ooh. Really, the shade that I'm wanting to do is the Spiced Coral shade, just like kind of along the outer corner, smoked up into the crease with some easier, maybe this Pampas shade here as a transition. I feel like that would be gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna keep this in because I have an idea of what I wanna do and I didn't really use it last time, so that is going to stay in. Okay, cool. Bronzer. Sebastian, just go lay down, buddy. He's trying to find his bed and I moved it, so he can't find it. Okay, anyway, that was my bad. It was just in the middle of the living room and I was like, I'm gonna film. I don't want it in the middle of the living room. I'm going to move it to the side, and yeah, he can't find it. Okay, bronzer is the Nobliskin Bronzing Bronzer in the shade Ombre. You guys, I haven't stopped using this. I've used this every single day since I did that video. I freaking love it. It's the bronzer I have on today. I'm obsessed. It is so smooth and beautiful. I have been loving that. So yeah, big fan of that. In fact, I'm just going to pull it in from my project pan at this point. So this, again, I'm going to continue using. Next, we have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighter in the shade Precious Petals. My packaging is broken. I wanted to hit pan. I did hit pan. I'm very happy about that. I think this is it's a pretty highlighter. It's a nice, smooth formula. Here's a swatch of it. Very pretty. If I hadn't already hit pan, I would still use it, but I'm trying to like focus my efforts. And right now I've actually been using the shimmer shades from the Modern Renaissance palette because I'm panning this, and I don't like the shimmers for eyeshadows, but for highlighters, they're absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, this video isn't about that. I love this. I use it a lot because I was trying to pan it, and I think I will probably pull it in again in the near future just because it is so freaking pretty. Okay. Back to eyes. We're going in no particular order. Oh! Well, isn't that just great? It's the Super Shock. It was the Super Shock shadow in the shade Frog. I used it 0 times. And now it is in pieces on my table. Great. Just great. Did it dry out? Is that what has happened? Okay, I feel like I can repress these pretty easily. Oh, good. I've got eyeshadow like in this crack of my table. I don't know, man. I smell something, but I don't know what it is. I think it's just a little bit dried out, and that's why I did that, because it's an older Super Shock. But anyways, super pretty. I don't have any issues with it. I just don't ever think to use it. Maybe I'll use it as a highlighter. It's kind of a chunky highlighter, but yeah, no, that can't be no. It'd be a chunk lighter. We don't want that. Okay. Anyway, I have these Super Shock shadows and I just forget about them. Now, I say that, but I fully intend to, there is one shade that I want to pull for this rotation. So yeah, I don't know. Take what I say with a grain of salt. For blush, I've got Coquette. It's the Jouer Blush Duo in Coquette. I think in my Shop My Stash, I called it Cosette. That's a good name for it as well, but it is Coquette. It's a beautiful, cool toned berry combo. I used this so much and I loved it. I think I used this for like a month or two. Like Coquette, man, favorite. This is one of my like top 10 probably favorite blushes. And it's very, very good. I kind of want to pull it in again for spring. I can't pull everything back in. That would be ridiculous. But it's probably going to be in another one soon. Okay, next up, we have this lippy stick. Every time I pull this in, I don't use it. I think that means I need to get rid of it. It's the ColourPop lippy stick in the shade Prairie Home. It is such a pretty shade. I just don't know that it's a pretty shade on me. I'm sure it is. I think it just depends. Maybe on a date night. I don't know. Maybe my lips are too dry for this formula. I honestly, I don't know. I couldn't tell you why I can't use it. It's not that I can't, why I refuse to use it. Not consciously. It's a totally subconscious refusal. I don't know. It's a fine formula. Like I said, I look at this and I think that is really pretty. I should put it on my lips, and then I put it on my lips like, no, and I wipe it off. So I don't know. I tried and it didn't work out. Here he comes. Hi, Booby. I call him Booby. Don't judge. I don't know why. It was Boo Boo and then it just got shortened to Booby or Boobs. So it's Booby. And he can't hear anymore. Sorry, I'm talking about my dog. Maybe that wasn't obvious. It probably wasn't. I probably look like I'm just some totally insane person. He's just so sweet. He is my baby. Anyway, last product that we're going to talk about before I go downstairs and show you my dirty, dirty makeup dungeon is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Foundation. I'm in love. I use this pretty consistently for probably a solid month, and I've been using it again. Yes, this is a favorite. I've mentioned it in favorites videos. This is going to stay because I'm just going to use it up. That's where we're at with it at this point. I'm just going to use it up. Okay. Let's move on to the shopping portion, shall we? Okay, you guys, I actually cleaned off my dresser. I'm very excited about that. So I've got my makeup bag here. I've just got brushes. The mascara I'm currently using is the Essence Lash Princess. And then I've got like a glitter glue and just, that's about all that's in there. I've got a few things that I'm keeping in. This Ulta eye primer for one. The powders I'm currently working on panning, which actually maybe I can pull other powder. I don't know that I have another powder. I'm tempted. This one I'm going to keep in because I like setting my under eye with it. This one I'm not crazy about, so I might pull something else in. Bronzer, I'm currently working on this. What is this? Nabla Skin Glazing Bronzer in the shade Ombre. Right? Yes. I'm working on panning that, so that's going to stay in. I'm also working on panning this guy from Milani. It's their liquid contour in the shade Honey. And then also panning Modern Ren. That stays in, and I use one shade out of the Tartelette in Bloom palette for my eyebrows. So, oh, and then my concealer. I've got the CoverGirl True Blend. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, Be Perfect Carnival, that's going to stay in as well. Okay, eyeshadow palettes. I have an idea of what I want to use, so this should be relatively easy to choose. Really, the question is one additional palette enough? And I think considering how massive this palette is, I think the answer is yes. So I'm going to choose the ABH Sultry palette. Here is what the inside looks like. I would love to start working on panning this. Maybe it's cheating because ABH palettes are relatively easy to pan. You don't get a ton of product. But I don't know. I know that I love the shimmers. The mattes I'm on the fence about. We'll have to see how they perform after a couple of years. Also, I believe this is discontinued, so I do apologize, but I'm going to pull that in. All right. Do I want any other eyeshadows? I just don't know, though. One that I haven't used in a really long time is this Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. It's one that for whatever reason I've kept the sleeve, I think because the artwork is kind of cool. And the palette itself is relatively boring, but this is what it looks like. Super pretty. This was like a really big deal when it came out. Nobody talks about it anymore, and I feel like Colored Rain really isn't coming out with many eyeshadow palettes these days. I don't know. Anyway, I'll go ahead and grab this as well, because I know that some of these shimmers will pair really well with some of the Modern Renaissance mattes. So, yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so I don't know if you recall, but I mentioned wanting to grab one of my Super Shocks. It's this one. This is one of the Disney collabs. This is Under the Sea, and it's just a really nice kind of green shade. Let me open it and show you. Oh wow, I did not realize I had hit pan on that. It's really pretty. So I'm gonna grab this because it's kind of a fun one and done shadow look. I'm kind of into it. All right, let's figure out blush. So I know I'll be doing some warm tones. I have a new blush that I purchased from the Sephora sale that I'm trying out right now that is very warm toned. So I might just pick out like a neutral or a cool toned blush to pair with it, but I don't know. Do we need this much commentary? Probably not. Probably not. But that's what we're doing. So, you know, just sorry, not sorry, I guess. That's what I need to say. You know what I've never used? This. Oh, hello. Patrick Ta. This is She's Blushing. Golly. I can't even open it. Oh, Lord. So it's just kind of a neutral blush. We got a cream and a powder. I'm going to try it. I'm going to finally try it. Okay. But I also really want just a pink blush because pink with this green, holy cannoli, right? Right? Am I wrong? If wanting to use pink and green together is wrong, I don't want to be right, you know? Just have to say that. Ooh, I think the only like pink, well, I've got Coquette. Is that what you are? Not Cosette, Coquette. This one? That's not pink enough. You know what? I think it needs to happen. I know that I've been using this recently and it's not new. I mean, no, it is new. It's not like, I'm not shopping my stash necessarily, but dude, these blushes with that green shade, that's gonna happen. It's just gotta happen. Okay. Also, quick speed review. These are not good. Don't spend your money on them. Sorry, CoverGirl. was hoping you were going to do better. Okay, powder. Oh, God. Ugh. The only powders I have are like ones that I don't like necessarily. Well, I like this, the RCMA powder. I'm gonna just grab this. It's lovely. Lovely. I've got a primer that I'm using that I'm in love with, and I don't really feel the need to pull one of these primers because I don't love any of them personally. Next, I'm not gonna grab any other singles. Sorry, I've got to move positions. Okay, highlighter. I was using these recently. This Michaela Glam Light, meh, it's fine. It's not great, it's not bad, it's just fine. I'm dizzy. I don't need a bronzer. I need a declutter is what I need. I need to redo my storage situation here is what I need. Flexitarian, don't need that. Why am I winded? Somebody please tell me why. I'm kind of thinking this one. Kaleidos. What are you? Why are you feeling so grimy? What has happened to you? Anyways, this is the Space Age highlighter in Diamond Dasher. Yeah, it's very, very like sparkly. Sparkles. Okay. I really want to grab this one though, but I'm not going to. Yeah. Next up. Okay, and then, all right, and then we've got, there's some face palettes in the back there that I'm probably not gonna grab, let's be real. A foundation, yeah, and lips here, and then like some sprays, bleh. I don't use them. Why do I have them? We don't know. Nobody knows. So I've been using and loving this, and it's almost gone. And part of me feels like I should just pull it, like keep it in and use it up, but I don't know. I'm not gonna do that. Good stories. I also was using this recently, and you guys, I don't know that I love this. I think it makes my skin look a little bit sad. So that's probably a no. Oh, this is not good. I bought this and haven't tried it. Do I want to? It looks like it might be a little bit too dark for me currently, so I'm gonna just wait and use it later. Sorry, that's a really good story, I know. How about this? I have not used this Essence Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation. I think I tried it and never used it again. I liked it as far as I can remember. So I am gonna grab this. And then, holy macaroni, was I ever this tan? What on earth? Well, do I want to grab this pretty this is going to be more of a summer shade, I think. All right, so we got this one. What if I don't like it? What if I don't like it? I'm going to grab this Becca foundation. It's super duper old. I got it in, I think, like a BoxyCharm pop-up sale thing. I want to pair it with the, what is it? The Saie Glowy Super Gel primer that I've been loving. I'm going to try it with that because it's a super matte foundation, and I want to see if I can make it work by using the Saie primer. Okay, lips, whips. So I've been trying to use up one of my lippies. It's this kind of lipstick from Milani in the shade Secret, whatever those are called. Sometimes I know, sometimes I don't. Today I don't. But here is one, actually, I'm glad that I just randomly picked this, but I think I want to grab it. It's from Butter London. I don't know if this is still available, but it's in this really beautiful, like, pink shade. What is happening? Come on. There it is. The shade is the shade Fab. It's so pretty. So I'm going to use this. And then I think for my neutral lips, I'm just going to continue using what I've been using because I really would love to use up a lipstick. So I'm going to keep using Secret, but then, sorry, I got interrupted by a timer going off on my phone. But anyways, this, yes, I want to use this for the cool tones. So after all of that, since I'm going to pull in this powder, this one I'm going to put in my panned pile because, yes, we have hit pan. Praise the Lord. And other than that, this is what we're working with. Whoop. Come over here, lipstick. Join your friends. I'm very excited to use these. This especially, man. This is one of those purchases that was just kind of eating at me. I was like, ugh, why haven't I not used it? It was expensive. So anyway, as always, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe before you go, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.